Bobby and Brett are awesome.
Every time I ever went, it was always an amazing experience. They were just very authentic and very just hilarious. We had a really good time. And I think that's the main thing. So I think if you can make people laugh, you're winning, right?
The improv that we do at the moments of in storytelling can be really, really fun. So I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's always good to get out of your skin, and Speak Up Studio is a great way to do that. So that's my favorite memory.
Well, my favorite memory, I'm new to the studio, and my first time, they played some exciting music at the very beginning of the meeting, and I was caught off guard, but everybody was dancing, and I started dancing, and it felt great and open. It felt open and welcoming.
My favorite memory is actually being up in front of all of the other speakers and having the opportunity to share a little bit of my message, but then getting absolutely grilled by Bobby and Brett, and helping me to not only refine but grow confident in the message that I had to share. And so when you're faced with that much of, other professionals and you're still able to deliver your message, it's not only a big confidence builder, but it allows you to have a lot of clarity. And so that was probably my most valuable and favorite moment.
Actually, doing the challenge is one of my, probably in the top 5 favorite moments, is when I got to do the challenge, because I did it with, the challenge month I did was connecting with your audience. And I've been doing this on and off for about 30 years. So I thought, I got this. I'm very connecting. And it was so amazing to me that I have it, and you and Bobby helped me go so much deeper. I didn't know that was possible. I just went home going, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And so that's probably one of my favorite moments, is to realize that, yeah, I'm learning, though when I'm really when doing that, it's a much deeper level. And I feel that I'm better now. I'm more consciously aware because of that deeper learning, I don't even know what it was. It was magic. And so it's so much easier now than what I thought it would have been, what it's been in the past.
Getting to meet other speakers, and we've really created a great group of people and a great bond and friendship with the people in there. And so I think that's my favorite part, and then getting to hear each person speak about their particular business or their particular passions, and getting to learn more about them on an intimate level. That's been my favorite, getting to know the people.
It was a one-on-one, talking on one-on-one with each other about different stories to help our confidence boost up. That really helped, instead of being oh, it's your turn to speak in front of all these people and this is your first time. I like just the one-on-one because it just warms you up the first time you're there, if you're new. And it really just brought me closer to people, because it's just a one-on-one and they give me feedback. And
I have all kinds of great memories from the studio. I don't know if I could narrow it down to one memory. It's just been, I've had so many really good experiences. I'll give you one experience that I had recently. We were doing a breakout group, and I sat down and I said, well, I'm not really very good at this. And the person was very kind to me, and she just said, if you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have known, and you shouldn't lead with that. And I was like, yeah, I've just learned so many little things like that, I guess you know it, but until you're in that situation, you don't really put it into practice. So yeah, that's an example of a great experience, but it's been a great year. I really enjoyed it.
I love being able to speak on stage. I love being able to network. I don't know that there's one favorite memory, because there are so many good times of, I feel like this is where I belong. not many people like to be on stage. It seems like I've heard that number 1 is death, number 1 is public speaking, number 2 is death. So more people would rather die than be giving the eulogy. And so I love being with other people who get me, who want to be speakers as well. That's probably been my favorite, not necessarily specific memory, but my favorite part about Speak Up the studio all year long is just the people here get me. I feel like I belong.
Probably when I got the guts up to stand up and do my first 10 minutes. It was scary, and I didn't have anything written down. I knew from point A to point B, but I really hadn't thought about the stuff in the middle at all. So I was pleasantly surprised that it was received as well as it was.
I mean, I have a lot of good memories from Speak Up. I mean, it's a great place to be and a lot of good people to hang around with. Probably sharing my own story and going through the story roller coaster. And I think that's one of my favorite times.
Really loved the impromptu stuff because it makes you think on your feet. And I think that, that's something really critical to be a speaker.
This is more like we're coming together and playing, and people learn better when they're playing.
You get to practice, you get to get vulnerable, meet people. I think the energy's great with all the people, so yeah.
That they have a lot of fun, but they challenge you to dig deep and find your message.
There's a lot of other speaker associations out there, but they don't give you not only the variety and the opportunity to speak, but they also don't bring the same caliber of energy and dynamics that you get when you're here. And so I feel like it's multiple things, but all in all, it's just a really positive, really fun, safe environment to improve your craft and your skill.
So much learning in fun ways. Like every week is different, even though it's a set, here you go. You guys teach us what the topic is for the month, and then the next week is the challenge, and then it's the teach back. And when people get up and they do their 10 minutes, whether it's impromptu or prepared, it isn't boring. It's always different because it's different people speaking. Even if it's the same person, someone doing their same speech, it's still different. And I love that we're just learning and it's fun. And that's equal to the amount of time that I get, that we, not just me, that those of us that choose to play and choose to volunteer, we get so much time, opportunity to speak, which is really nice because, again, like I said, for 30 years in and out of doing different classes, never has it been like this. So that's what I love. And I tell everybody, that's one of my favorite things that I love.
Oh my goodness, just the openness of it, being so welcome, so free to be goofy, be serious, just be whatever it is you're feeling at the time. But I think the first time I got up and spoke at the studio, I just let loose, and I couldn't believe the laughter and the actual play that showed up for me. Just being able to play and be fun with myself, that was my favorite.
I did speak up, part of Speak Up because I want to learn how to speak better. But my favorite memory would have to be, there's just so many. That's the problem. I want to just say my favorite activity because we have every month there's a different theme and a different activity kind of thing. But at the beginning of each one of our meetings, we have kind of an impromptu speaking kind of opportunity. And that activity has been really fun. Not that I've participated 100%, but it was just fun to watch and get to enjoy other people impromptu their speaking, right? With some silly story or some silly memory or something like that. But I think that was probably my favorite activity.
Favorite thing about Speak Up is the people. The people are awesome. Like Dad's awesome, Bobby's awesome, Aiden's awesome. Everybody there is awesome, and they have like different personalities, and so they just fill up the room with happiness.
My favorite thing is I love to be able to practice different things. I've had ideas of I'd like to do this kind of a talk, but I didn't know if it would really work or if it wouldn't work, and so the studio lets me try things. I'll give 2 examples. I had this idea of telling a story, but choreographing the story and having the audience kind of walk through the motions of it. It was a historic thing, and I got to try that, and where I can't think of anywhere else that I would try something like that, and I've never really seen anybody else do that, so that was really fun. And another time they asked me if I wanted to speak, and I didn't have anything prepared, but one thing I'd always wanted to do in my whole life but been way too scared to do it is to do stand-up comedy. So I wrote up a stand-up comedy routine and did that. So just being able to practice different things. Last week we had a tool that I'd heard about that's really good for speakers, and I didn't want to try it on a paying audience first, right? So I tried it in Speak Up, which was good because other people could get to see the tool, but it also let me test it before I actually did it in real life. So love the practice aspect and the being able to be creative and try different things. That's really, really cool, and I can't think of where else you could get that. So a lot of times when you're involved in a speaking organization, it's like, watch this really awesome person speak, and that will somehow make you awesome. And it's like, well, I don't know. I'd much rather get the practice. So yeah, that's incredible.
The fact that we can play, the fact that we can get together, because this is what I want to do for my career, is to be a speaker. And so it's a chance for me to practice, to get better at my craft. And I can get better at my craft by myself, but it's more fun with others who are also trying to get better at their craft. So I can learn from them, I can learn from me, I can learn being on stage, I can learn having other people be on stage. So I guess the learning and the practicing is my favorite part.
Meeting new people, that's, it's so important to people, for people to speak with their heart and not be phony or try and present something that they're not, or sell something that really isn't that great. And sometimes people say, I've heard, ask them what they want, but sell them what they need. And I think that has to be, it's a good thing, but it has to be really finessed.
Honestly, the people. Honestly, I think that I get to talk to. There's a lot of good, like, open-hearted people that have some really good stories that I can connect to, and some of them are not my age, so it's really good to just connect with a bunch of new people that I might not hang out with. Yeah.
Brett and Bobby are awesome. Definitely go to Speak Up. You will not be disappointed. So for sure.
Public speaking's fun. I promise. If you actually allow yourself the space to come and make mistakes and be silly and do the exercises that they like, the improv stuff is actually really, really great for helping you get over those fears. And it's generally not too big of a group, so you don't have to be worried about getting up in front of people and just like being like, I can't speak anymore. Like, come and practice. That's what I have to say. Like, just come and practice, because it genuinely is a lot of fun.
I've known Bobby and Brett for many years now. They're just passionate about it, and I know they're going to take care of you. So I think if anyone's on the fence and experiences, these guys are going to take care of you, making sure you're taking that time to understand your craft and your message and your voice and your presentation skills are going to take you to the next level. So
I wasn't sure if my message was a message people want to hear, and there was a meeting where somebody had got up and shared her message, and it was very similar to mine, in alignment with mine, if not exactly mine. And so that made me feel like this message is not just mine, it's other people's, and it's worth sharing, and I want to figure out and have that support and help to be able to share that message in a way that people will receive it.
I would say wake up and do it. There's a lot of places that you can invest your money, and there's a lot of places that you can invest your time, but there's not a lot of places that you will get the same return on your investment as you do here. And so if you're looking for a place to actually grow and have a chance to not only practice your own speech, but to learn from others instead of being more passive or just like working on the basics, then this is the place that you need to be.
Gosh, easy peasy. I would tell them, join. It's fun, it's engaging, and the way we learn, it's on such a much deeper level. And then of course, the amount of time, opportunity we get to speak, and the feedback, I mean, that's also been incredible. So, I mean, you, from all the stuff that I've done, and even recently, you don't get all of that. You might get one or two of those things, but not all of that in one place.
Communication in our lives is key, and Speak Up is about communicating with yourself, your family, your loved ones, people outside your home, everything, right? So Speak Up is about communication, and it helps us just it gives us freedom to communicate at will.
What I love about Bobby and Brett and this Speak Up group is that we have fun. We enjoy the experience of speaking and not making it something that like they're gonna smack us on the back of our hand if we do something wrong. It's like we can enjoy being ourselves, and we can enjoy, you know, really speaking about our passions honestly and vulnerably.
You like want to speak, or like if you're like a singer or you play like an instrument or something, gotta like speak up to build up your confidence and build up your boost to play or sing or talk in front of a lot of people. That like really helps. And another way for like me, I'm really shy when I get up on like stage or something, and I get really stage fright, but Speak Up I know will help me, and it'll get me to the place that I want to be.
Well, one thing that I'll say is I know that speaking in public, obviously being able to speak in public to an audience is something that can be very helpful in any number of professions, but it's nerve-wracking, it's really scary. And the studio is a place where everybody comes together and they're really there to help make each other better, and it's not a high pressure environment to speak in. And that's really cool. So I feel like if you're nervous about speaking, or if you're not as confident in your speaking ability, the studio is a great place to get in and build that confidence, and you can build your confidence and you can build your skills so that you can advance yourself in your profession. And speaking can do that in any number of ways. I remember one time I was reading an article from Warren Buffett, and he said that the number one skill that will make you the most money is being able to speak in public. And I agree with that. I think in a lot of professions it's a really important thing, and you don't get a chance to really practice, perfect it, and even get over the nerves and the, being uncomfortable in front of people. But studio provides that environment, and it's perfectly set up for being able to do that. And it takes some of the nerves out of it, I think.
I would say absolutely. You want to be a part of Speak Up. You want to be with this fun crowd, and if you want to be a speaker, this is a place to practice.
I like that when we first come in, we chit chat and stuff, but then we do the jumping around and stuff, and it's so important when you're going to learn something. You have to put that energy in your body for it to absorb as well as it can. And if you just sit down and get your notebook out and start writing, yeah, you'll learn some stuff, but it's not going to be retained as much as if you don't get that energy pumping before we even start. So that was very impressive.
Come to Speak Up. I think it's a great opportunity, and I think it's very good for everyone to learn about speaking. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be about specific things. It can just help you about in anything, about talking to, like, communication is key in life, so it can help you talk to you about anything.
If anything, we say no to things that might not sound good or make sense, but the reality is most of us need to learn how to speak better. Most of us, most of us fail at speaking to our friends and our family, and so learning how to express ourselves, especially to what what matters to us. If that is, if our goal is to ever have any kind of public position, if you're not going to be a public speaker to a lot of different people, you need to be able to speak to your boss. You need to be able to speak to your colleagues, and so I think it's a really important thing that people don't know enough about. So I would say, definitely go.
So I really just come and try it. If you try it, a lot of times you'll find that you like it. It is a really great community, and there is a heart in the people that are doing this that really will make you want to stay.
You just do it. You gotta do it soon. I just listened to a music video on the way here. It's called Jump. I thought it was gonna go dark, but it was really good. It was about jumping, doing it, taking it on. So just do it.
It's a great group of people that are very friendly, not judgmental, encourage you to be yourself, and have a lot of experience and a lot of helpful information that can be applied into anything that you want to do with presenting information or telling stories that people would like to listen to.
Come and try it out, whether you're kind of hesitant and afraid of speaking, whether you don't really like to be up in front and you just need to build your confidence not only for your career, but if you have a message to share, which everyone does, then it's time to wake up. It's time to step out because somebody needs to hear your message, and this is a great place to craft that.
So I actually started my speaking adventure when I was in junior high. And so being on stage and speaking is so natural to me. So coming to Speak Up Studio, even though it's very natural and I feel pretty good about speaking, in the less than 6 months, I think, that I've been coming, I've become such a better speaker in such a short amount of time, which has just been incredible. So I just think everybody should be part of it.
My absolute favorite was Message to Magic, which was a 3-day intensive, and so much self-discovery, understanding who I was, who I am, what my message is, where I want to go, and it felt like it just opened up everything, and I just became like a magnet for what I wanted.
If you want to get better at speaking and using your skills and working out your speeches, and Speak Up Studio is the place to go, because you get to practice your speeches, get professional feedback and audience feedback for your speeches, and it's a great way to learn your craft. So, and it doesn't matter what genre you're in or who your ideal audience is, everybody's welcome, and everybody has a story to tell, and so do you, and we want to hear it. So, and the world wants to hear your story.
I'll just say this: the leaders of Speak Up, he thinks I'm going to say Bobby Glenn James is like a father to me, which I had to get that in at some point. But Bobby and Brad are awesome. They create a really good environment. I'm a busy professional, and I don't do a lot of things like this. But I think I've missed two sessions this year. I've been there every time because it's always such a great environment, and they've created that environment and made it a place where you can learn, you can practice, and you can advance in your craft. And if you want to be a professional speaker, it's about how to really get you further along in that journey. So I think it's awesome. I think it's worth my time, and I think it's worth your time. So
I think it's just amazing, and you should give it a shot.
You're not going to learn anything if you don't take a risk. Nothing's gained if you sit at home at your computer on your laptop and say, what if? You have to set your mind to, you're going to move forward. And whether it be you're going to speak on stages, or whether you're building a business and there's sales involved, those kinds of things, you'll learn skills at Speak Up to progress and move forward in your life. So yeah, come on down because it's an excellent place to be. Lots of friends, reacquainted with some people that I already knew, but I'm meeting lots of new people, and I'm really liking that a lot. So come and join us.